Howdy folks, Rob MaximumRD here with a package right there. Trying a little bit of a different perspective, as you can see from my usual videos at least. Hope this all works out. Have the camera propped up. So here you see the package. It is something I have been expecting, and yeah, it's a pretty big deal. At least for me. So it is very well, let me just say right now, it's funny, this came registered mail, and as soon as I put my hands on it, I thought, holy crap, that's some interesting packaging right there. And I think you'll see why as I reveal it. I'm sure, at least I'm hoping, from what I can tell, that it is well packaged. Oh, did you hear that? I was trying to avoid that till I got it open all the way, but it's no biggie. So check this out. Let's see. As you can see, it's completely encased in bubble packing, inflated material. You know, not your typical bubble wrap padding in an envelope, or a bubble-ope as they say, but literally encased in this transparent force field, practically. Interesting. So that's kind of cool, because that would have padded the item safely. It would have taken a lot to crush this. There it is inside. Okay. And so yeah, I guess I'm literally, oh no, I can open here on the side. A little crazy with the taping, but hey, that's good. Not complaining. Because once I get these two little strips of tape cut, we'll be able to slide that right out. Hey, possibly repurpose this for this protection here. Repurpose that if I ever send something else out that's still inflated. Maybe I can reuse that. Alright, and this is the item. It is by JXD. So, yeah, you may have known past items I've received from that company, or at least their products from that company. And hoping this is, you know, a bit of an upgrade. I've heard various things. If you happen to follow JXD products and you're on the Dingunity, is it Dingunity? I think it's Dingunity. I'll have a link in the description. Their forums, you get everyone there, from people who buy these products to people who produce custom firmwares and alternate versions of the Android ROM, etc., etc. Because frankly, the JXD, nice cheap devices, their default versions of Android that are on these devices, not always the greatest. But anyways, let's take a look at the front. Look at that. Hope you can see that clearly. Okay, it says this is the JXDS7800 quad-core smart game console, supposedly. Yeah, I'll just quickly go over the features on the back. Sorry, I have to hold it upside down because it's the lid is on upside down. 7-inch IPS display, resolution 1200 by 800, 5-point capacitive touch panel, Android 4 2.2, which it very may well be, but again, it wouldn't be like Android 4.2.2 on most devices. JXD seems to have kind of their own interpretation of the interface and what comes pre-installed, the default apps and games and such. Yeah, most of the, a lot of times they just load it up with all kinds of crap, quite frankly, which is why at some point this will be loaded up with an alternate firmware, which usually gives more stability features and better overall experience on the hardware. But moving on, quad-core CPU, flash 8 GB, 0.3 megapixel camera front, and 2.0 megapixel camera on the rear, supposedly. 100,000 Android games, 12 emulators, blah blah blah. Yeah, you know what it's like with usual cheap Chinese devices. 10,000 games means repeats of all kinds of games. You might have some ROMs on there that are just repetitive, so on and so forth. It doesn't really mean anything. So, 3 ways to control the games: touch buttons and G sensor, directional buttons, A, B, C, D, left and right, dual joystick, select, start, volume, power, home, back, menu button, blah blah blah. Wi-Fi 802.11 BGN, external Ethernet, and 3G dongle. I don't think that's included. 3-axis gravity sensor, double speakers, and it supports the various formats of audio, video, blah blah blah. It's an Android tablet, folks, that just has gaming controls on it. So, enough of that. Let's open the box. Oh, it's closed on one side. There we go. No, it's not actually there. So the lid was on backwards. Sorry about that. So, okay, well, they sent the right one. Sometimes, as you could see, that's a standard flat plug connector for the outlet, for your power outlet. Sometimes you order these devices from these companies, these Chinese companies, and they ship the PAL version, which would be the rounded prongs. And it's usually not a problem because I have other adapters and or even I have changers, like adapter plugs that could fit on top of this and turn it into what I need. But in this case, they sent the proper Canadian-US standard 2 flat plugs right there, so that's great for charging or running the device off house current. This is one of those cables, so it's like a USB extension cable to your mini connector right there for the device for loading up external storage and such. And similar cable, but I believe one is for I'm not quite sure, they actually look like the same cable, but I know they have different functions. Cheap ass headphones that I will never use, and I will add to my pile of $1 headphones. I have my own that I like to use. So that's it so far. Now, for the device itself. Ooh. Okay, well, it's definitely heavier than my other one, which is the JXDS7800. It's definitely heavier than that one. We have like a little instruction booklet, as normal with these devices. I mean, they are in English, but the most basic information, and sometimes it's a little funny the way it's translated from Chinese or whatever. Is it Chinese? It might be. But anyways, I hardly ever refer to these at all. I just read about the items in forums and such. And nothing else in the box. So I believe I got everything that was included. One thing I do like to do is look at the included manual and make sure that they did include everything that is usually included. Intelligent Game Center, Game X. That's the interface. Let's see here. Oh, in the box. Here we go, in the box. Excuse me, there goes my voice. S7300, user's manual, USB cable, OTG cable, and charger. Okay, so it does seem like it did include everything, so that's a great start. Yeah, it appears to have arrived undamaged. All right, so all I'm going to do now is, of course, show you the device. I don't know if it will have any power. Obviously, if it does not, at this point, I cannot turn it on. Now I'm looking. Okay, that's kind of cool. Alright, so that's funny, because a lot of times, as you see, these do come with some type of covering on top. And I probably would have actually just kept this one on there, but of course this has this notice, please tear off for better touch. Okay, that's fine. So let's just make sure I'm doing this properly. Please tear off for better touch. Usually they have these on there, but they don't have those words. Oh, that's a bad sign right there. Can you see that, folks? As I'm tearing off the touch screen, the protective layer, the screen itself pops off. Again, this is the quality of Chinese devices. That's not a complaint. I mean, it does kind of suck. It is a little bit of a complaint, but I can't say I'm that surprised. So, I know what I'm paying for, and I know why these things cost so little. Okay, so let's try that again. I will hopefully this time just peel off the plastic protection layer, because you know already by pulling the screen off of it, I am exposing it to dust and external debris. Not a great start, I would say. Okay. Well, it looks nice otherwise so far. Hopefully that screen is going to stay on from this point. Oh boy, that's not a good impression at the start there. So I don't want it to flop out. I'm going to hold it, peel this other one off the back. Okay, so first impression not great. Okay, I'm hoping beyond all hope that was simply the case that when they put the screen on the unit, I guess they didn't maybe press down hard enough so that the adhesive underneath would form a good grip, a good bond. Because obviously I don't want to be traveling or out someplace, or well, even at home using it and have that come off. Now I've dropped my S7300 a couple times and had it go skidding across, well, the bathroom floor. Much to my dismay, but to my surprise, the JXD7800 still works fine. It didn't get damaged and that. And here I am just taking this out of the package, and already I have the screen falling off the unit. Well, let's see. The buttons seem to be functional in that they are not falling off. Alright, so there you go. I will try to power it on. Let's see where the power button is, so you can see right offhand if there is any charge in this thing. What the device looks like. There's the volume up, down, and I'm guessing this is the power. Okay, so I'm going to press the power. Let's see what does or does not happen. Okay, and I will, just before I press this power on button, I will say, obviously, if this was like a Google Nexus or a Samsung tablet, this would already be back in the box and I'd be shipping it back because, you know, the screen came off. But again, when you pay these low-end, bottom-of-the-line prices for cheap Chinese devices, you're pretty much taking your chances. I know this from the start. So, for me, if it works and I can flash a new version of Android on it, then I'm happy. So, let's see if it will power on or not. Pressing the... Oh, wow, okay. Well, actually some charge left in it, So give you an idea of the startup procedure with the current default version of Android that's on there. Gamepad 3. Okay. And yeah, it's just pretty much standard with JXD devices, especially if you check out the Dingunity forums. People just always reflash the version of Android that's on there. Default standard JXD offerings are not the most functional or offer the best user experience. That's something I will hopefully touch on in a future video. Oh, it stopped. Okay. So obviously not enough power out of the box. Oh no, there it is. Okay, cool. 6:48. No, obviously that's not the right time. December 19th, it's got that right, I believe. No, it's obviously set to shut down really quick if there's no response. So let's do this. Okay, and there's the standard interface. And there's the game, the program for mapping your controls and such. And let me just go home. Oh yes, bring that back. Sorry, let's go back to the menu. And where's settings? Settings. Well, anyways, obviously I'll have to play around with this for a bit to get the settings option, unless it's here. Manage apps, wallpaper, system settings. There we go. Well, the touch seems to be working fine. And just to go into this so I can show you what it says as far as the information about tablet. So, okay, I don't know how well you can see that. Android 4 2.2, build number S7800b. Okay, it is the B model. There was supposedly going to be two models. One model was not as powerful, but the B model was the better one, and this is the B model. So, yeah, we'll see about getting a proper ROM on there. It's I believe it's called the overclocked ROM. I'll have the links in the description when I do that video. So that's it. That's the unboxing, the powering on, the little bit of a shock there with the screen falling forward. Hopefully that's never going to happen again. And that's it. I'll just play around with it. I might do some video with how the device is before I go ahead and flash a new alternate custom firmware on it. And we'll see you later. Thanks for watching.